Hello guys and girls, and welcome back to the racing line. We are back once again for round 4, races 7 and 8. The penultimate round of the Racing Line Clio Cup Championship, powered by GT Amiga in partnership with VCO eSports. Jerry Agard in Twitch chat says, never saw that trailer before, that thing is hilarious. How can you have not seen the intro to the Clio Cup? It's one of my favourites so far. Across all the seasons we've done. Vince Cussy in the YouTube chat says hello. He was here early, before the timing link. Well done, Vince. Welcome back. Roxwin says sup in YouTube chat as well. Wherever you're watching, whether it's with us on the Racing Line YouTube or Twitch or VCO eSports YouTube and Twitch, get in that chat, say hello. Who are you supporting? Show your support, because the guys watch these races back. I know you guys are here live, and that's great, and I appreciate all of you, but when they watch the races back, they like to see their name pop up in chat. GT Amiga discount code TRL, get that out of the way, 5% off whatever you are buying. We are here for round 4 at a track that's not usually used, and the biggest track on the calendar, on our calendar, and it's Snetterton Racing Circuit, the 300 layout. 2 minutes a lap, roughly, just over. So a bit different from the 14 lap races that we have had so far. It is actually 7 laps today, so no safety car, regardless of crashing realistically, because that would have to be out for a minimum of 3 laps, and we don't want to spend half the race under safety car. Roxman says let's go racing. Not long. 3 minutes left of practice, which as you can see from the timer was cut slightly short due to a session issue. The Racing Line's iRacing account went bankrupt for a brief moment and the track was shut, but we are open and we are going. And Fabian Siegman has just gone to the top of the times with the 2 minute 6.3 for Team Husingveld. That is the second time I've seen someone following Sam Van Olst set the fastest lap time in this practice session. The one before that was Roman Perschke, but the Husingveld boys are split at the moment by the Meatball Motorsport driver Kieran Dempsey and Patrick Dupart showing flashes of pace as well for Team ORD up there in P4 as Daniel Downing slots up into P5. But this is just practice, guys and girls. This is just practice. So let's have a look at that championship order as we go into the last minute and a half, and we'll start off with the teams. We'll go from bottom to top. It's Lurchus Euskadi. That is the red team Lurchus that you can see in the background there, Ikalakwe. They are 90 points on the board. Lurchus Galicia 9 points ahead of them. That's Caraday and Amundare. Northside Racing Red 107 points, and Northside Racing Gold just ahead of them in P9. We've had a bit of a jumble up in the order, actually, because NSR Red went from 11th to 10th, so they actually gained a position on Lurchus Galicia. NSR Gold have dropped from 4th to 9th. ORD stay where they are in 8th place with 131 points. Jumping them was Slow In, Slide Out. They went from 9th to 7th. They're only 1 point ahead of them. 132 points, so very tight in this midfield. Send it or bend it up there in P6 with 146 points. Tied on points is Meatball Motorsport and ZFG with 149 points each. Meatball Motorsport having a first and a third, ZFG having a second, so that is the correct order. Goldwing holding on to P3 with 162 points. Win it or bin it, jump up into P2 with 184. And Husingveld lead the way with 235 points in total. We are about to tick over into qualifying, so I won't do the driver's standings just yet. Vince Cussy says, love a good Clio. That is good to hear. We've seen the Husingveld car. We've seen the ORD machine. Win it or bin it. Where are Win it or bin it on track? There is Carl Ridley in the background, number 27, following Patrick Dupart. They are currently P2 in the standings. The Australian driver throwing that car around. Green wheels. Got to get rid of those green wheels. We hate them. But they do it on purpose. They do it for the views. Who else is watching? I can see a load of viewers across the channels. Thank you for joining. VCR Esports Twitch and the Racing Line YouTube, the ones popping off at the moment. Good to see you all. Don't be shy. Come in, say hello. I do my best to keep my eye on the racing, the timing screen, and the chat to get you all involved. And away they go for their 8 minutes qualifying. Timing hasn't changed of qualifying. So they need to get out quickly because usually all the laps we've done previously, Brands, Indy. In fact, let's have a quick look at the calendar of what we've done so far. Alton Park was media day, so that doesn't count. But Knock Hill, Brands Hatch, Indy, and Silverstone National, all roughly just under a minute a lap. So an 8-minute qualifying, you get a good 7 laps in. Snetterton, 2 minutes 6, fastest in practice. You're going to get 2-3 laps, really, if you can get a clean run. So qualifying is going to be all important here, and we should see a mixed up order. Can someone knock Roman Persky off of that top spot? Because Roman Persky's currently got pole in all 3 rounds. The guys behind him have been a little bit different. But Donington next week, the final round of the championship. Let's have a look at that track map, and let's see what is going to happen, shall we? Who is leading this train? I can't tell because they've gone back on themselves. It's one of the Husingveld cars. Dempsey is behind him, I think. He is indeed. So these two always getting out first. So I guess it's because they're fastest in practice. Who should we go on board with for a lap? Pick someone different. Who haven't we been on board with for a lap around here? I don't know. Pressure, because they're approaching the final turn. We always do a 1-lap run. Donny, should we go with Donny Henriksen? I feel like we've been on Donny before. Andre says Patrick. Opinions on Snetterton track says Kieran Dickinson. Well, let's go through those opinions after a lap on board with random. I want a send it or bend it car. Let's go on board with Stephen Burns, the Scottish driver. Patrick fan club is represented. Do you know what? Patrick Dupart has got pace. Let's go on board with Patrick. He's approaching turn 1, and it's a pretty fast turn 1 indeed. It's a right-hander, so he's right on the left-hand side of the circuit. He does downshift into 4th gear, gets it turned in, clips that apex nicely. Patrick's a little bit of a blinker at the moment. His connection a little bit dodgy. And look at this, a tight hairpin for turn 2. We're going to see so many issues there, I reckon. Calling it now as we see Kieran Dempsey up the road lock up slightly. But he gets it turned in. The slap is still clean. And then look, come over to the right. Downshift to 3rd, is it? Or is he going to keep it? He keeps it in 4th here through this left-hander. So carries the speed through. Kieran using all the track on the exit. And Persky has abandoned his lap. Cuts to the left-hand side. Now, hold it tight to the right. You've got another hairpin coming up. This will be lock-up zone number 2. We're going to see, there you go, Kieran Dempsey's locked up there. His little rear wheel coming off the ground and the puff of smoke that is so common in the Clio. Bit of a lift for this left-hander. Carries the speed. You can run a bit wide there. Now, this is a tricky little corner, this right-hander here, because he goes down into 2nd gear, and you can cut that, but there's a hefty slowdown if you cut slightly too much, and they have to serve it after this next corner. They can't serve it on the racing line. They can't serve it by blocking people, or they'll get a 5-second penalty. And as proven by Silverstone National, when the whole grid finished within 5 seconds of each other, 5 seconds can really hurt in this Clio Cup. But then again, Snetterton 300 is going to throw up some challenges. Now, this next corner, hopefully he comes back. Yeah, here he comes. This is the trickiest one, I think. And look how cautious he's being. Loses the rear end a little bit. The car floats and dances through turn 9 and 10 there. As he gets it in. This should be flat or maybe a slight lift. Sounded like he lifted on this first lap, first timed lap. Kieran Dempsey's lap's still going to be valid. He's holding it tight all the way long, this right-hander. Keep it to the right, though, to open up this final left. Don't cut it too much because you'll hit that curve and bounce out wide just like that. But he's got the run. And now, which lap's going to be valid? Dempsey's the one that's lighting up the timing screens right now with purple sectors. Patrick is not. He's green. And who is going to go top of the times? It should be Dempsey looking at that. Is it valid? It is. It's 2:06.3. What a lap from Kieran Dempsey. Patrick Dupart only 1/10 behind. Greg Otley slots up into P3. Just behind him, Bailiff P4. Martin Kier jumps up into P4 now. Good effort from him. That would be an NSR Gold car. We can have a look at that car whilst I go through the championship order and catch up on the chat. Patrick Fan Club representing. Pershke Fan Club is greater than Patrick Fan Club, says Pixel Poems. Patrick doesn't get a broadband upgrade until he gets a win, says Dan Thornton. Opinions on the Snetterton track then, just while we've got 3 minutes to go. Honestly, more difficult to drive than I expected. Can't make a full opinion until we've seen the racing, to be honest. How sensible are the drivers going to be? That is the question. Let's go through that championship order. At the bottom of the grid, we have a tie for 36 with 36 points between Jan Weiswanger, Martin Kier and Donny Henriksen. That is the incorrect order, technically, with Martin Kier should be in 22nd because he has a 4th place finish. Jan Weiswanger has a 5th, so he should be in 23rd. And Donny Henriksen, I think, his highest is 7th, so he would be last in the championship. Ika Lequay, David Corpus, together, the Lurchus Euskadi boys in 20th and 21st. Then the Lurchus Galicia boys, Jesus Amundere and Caraday in 18th and 19th. Martin Wallace for ZFG after his P2 jumps up into P17. Joseph Gibson, 1 point ahead in P16. Kevin Anfield, early winner with 61 points in P15 with Sam Van Olst, P14 ahead of him. And then we've got another freeway tie with 71 points. Anders Kaiser, Stephen Burns and Daniel Downing. Daniel Downing should be the top of that as he has a win. I think Stephen Burns should be next and then Anders Kaiser in that order based on results. Eric Malenfeld, your top 10 there with 75 points. 1 point ahead of him is Patrick Dupart with 76 points, breaking into that top 10. He is 9th. Lucas Egelblad, who I don't think is here today, is in P8 with 83 points. John Bailiff, P7 with 92 points, tied with Carl Ridley and Duncan Murray. Carl Ridley being the highest of those, I believe, then Duncan, then John. Kyle getting second before Duncan got his second, and John no podiums just yet, but even on points. Greg Otley has slotted his way up into P4 with 95 points, just 3 points ahead. Another tight midfield fight. Fabian Siegman jumps up into P3 after missing one round with 101 points. Kieran Dempsey is currently in P2 with 113 points. Loving the Renault Clio, it seems, the Irish driver in the number 86. But your leader, the pole sitter for all the previous 3 rounds, Roman Pershke, with 134 points. So the Pershke Club will be happy with that. And he has gone fastest with a 2:06.0 with 46 seconds to go. 1/10 quicker than Dempsey. Is he going to claim his 4th pole position in a row? It's looking likely. Round 1, it was Pershke, Siegman, Dupart. That was your top 3. Round 2, Pershke, Dempsey, Otley. That was your top 3. Round 3, Pershke, Ridley, Siegman. That was your top 3. There's 20 seconds left, and it's looking like a Pershke, Dempsey, Dupart top 3 at the moment. Is anyone going to cross the line? I think that's it. I think qualifying is done because they're all miles away from the start-finish line. 10 seconds to go. I think it cuts off and doesn't let people finish their laps. So, I have a feeling, I got a feeling that this is it. Pershke, 4th pole position in a row. And Dempsey right behind him in P2. Patrick Dupart for ORD in your top 3. Let's have a look at the official grid then, which will look like this. Pershke, pole. Kieran Dempsey, 2nd, 1/10 behind. 4 tenths behind pole position is Patrick Dupart on row 2 with Eric Malenfeld for Send It or Bend It. Greg Otley up there in the top 5 again with Martin Kier next to him. A second back from Roman Pershke in P6. Martin Wallace and Joe Gibson on row 4 with Carl Ridley and John Bailiff make it an all win it or bin it. Row 5. Anders Kaiser and Kevin Anfield round off your top 12. Bottom half of the grid then looks like this. It's Sam Van Olst and Stephen Burns, followed by David Corpus, Alejandro Caraday, Jan Weiswanger, Jesus Amundere. Fabian Siegman did not get a time on the board. He starts race 1 in 19th place. Daniel Downing in 20th. Also didn't get a time on the board, with Donnie Henriksen and Ike Lequay rounding off your field in 22nd place. Sigmund and Downing are way out of position here, and maybe wishing that, well, Downing for sure, wishing that he had more practice. I'm not sure how much time Sigmund had to prepare. 2 top 10s for ORD is our best of the season, I think, says Dan Thornton. Kieran Dickinson says predictions for race 1 win. You tell me. Pershke's got the pace for sure, but Kieran Dempsey is going to want to try and pass him, and realistically, he's the only one close enough to challenge Roman for the championship. There's only 1 round to go after this. Listening to those engines tick over, Dan Thornton says, if only I'd signed up, I'd be up for a nice 23rd place. This is a tough track. That'll be the biggest spread that we've seen. I think it was 4 seconds between the last actual lap time and the time set. Well, that's a good little camera for the start, although it's not very close. Kieran Dickinson says Dempster for the win. I always like rooting for the underdog. Do you know what? I'm going to go for Depart. I'm going for an ORD win as the lights come on. There's 5 seconds left, so they should be off by now. Here they go, and the lights are out. Roman Pershke gets a nice clean getaway. Depart looks like he's got a bit of a run, and they all make their way down the main straight towards the fast right-hander of turn 1. But watch out for turn 2. It's a heavy braking zone. Can they make it through cleanly? We've got to keep our eye on the back because there's going to be 2 people that are fast out of position as Fabian Sigmund is already up a few places, and there's contact. It's Joe Gibson round, NSR red, and he's going to come back on the field. Oh, Joe Gibson in the wall for ORD, and I think there was a Lurch's car involved as well. Kevin Anfield dropping down the order, and the hairpin has got Chaos Sigmund involved in that as well. He is in P19, but your top end of the field, looked like there was another crash there as we cut away. Top end of the field looks to get away cleanly. There's a ZFG car off the road. That's Martin Wallace in P8, down 1 position as Carl Ridley passes him. Dan Thornton says no, he says, after bigging up the qualifying. Joe Gibson still in 17th and still on for points. He won't be too far from the back of the field. If he can keep it on track, he can climb. Stephen Burns and Donnie Henriksen side by side through turn 3 as they head down towards turn 4 now, and it looks like Burns, I think, is going to get that position. He does for Send It or Bend It. Claims that position from Donnie Alpha Henriksen, who's up in P11. Sigmund and Gibson have swapped over back here as well. This camera is a little bit far away. Let's go a bit closer. Bit of a slide up the road there. It looks like that's a Mundere, and Dan Downing is still out of position. Oh, he's actually closed in. Has Sigmund got a slowdown? I think he might do. If he served that in the wrong place, he needs to be careful. Vanolst and Wallace swapping over. Vanolst goes down the inside of turn 9. Gets it done before turn 10, locks up a little bit, keeps it on track, does not go on the grass, and that is what you want to see. Is there anyone else going to... Well, they all keep it on track. That car of John Bailiff, though, looking a little bit worse for wear on the front end. I think we're going to have time to... oh, no. To have a look at what happened at the start. But Sigmund's day goes from bad to worse as he goes off the track again, maybe with some contact. Let's have a look and see if we can have a look what happened. But first, we need to have a look at this because Roman Pershke has potentially made a mistake and Kieran Dempsey is about to take the lead, so no replays just yet because they're on the outside line for turn 1. Roman Pershke under pressure. Dempsey swoops round the outside of turn 1 and takes the lead of the race. The Irish driver passes the Austrian into turn 1, and Patrick Dupart is all over the back of him as well. Can he get it stopped? He's a nice little sender, is Patrick, round here. He done a move on me in practice. I don't think he's going to settle for third. He looks like he's got the pace to make some moves. Eric Mannenfeld looking pretty in P4, and Otley still in P5 as well. But Kieran Dempsey takes the lead, and Patrick Dupart sits behind at the moment. Roman Pershke in P2. Behind him, a little bit of a gap, and I think Bailiff has just passed Ike Lequay as well. As they go round, there's a big lock up in the distance. That was Kieran Dempsey, your leader. I think he's kept it on track. He has, as they swoop round. Fabian Sigmund way down the order, as is Joe Gibson, who are pretty much out of this race 1, potentially. Let's see if we can see anything here. Oh, Joe Gibson and Kyle came together. John ended up in the wall. Oh, okay, so Anders Kaiser, an absolute passenger in that. That's a shame. Is there a chopper cam that gives us a good view of this? Kyle Ridley is down the inside on the grass. That was very tight through there. Very, very tight. You'd have to go further back to see who deserved room there or not. Kevin Anfield nearly survived. That is Stephen Burns, who got taken out there. There was where the Lurch's car went through. Fabian came to a stop, got stuck behind Caraday's parked car, and away they went. Just continued, and then there was more. I think, no, that's going to be the safe crash. Stephen Burns will be coming in hot. Sam Van Olst very lucky to get through that. And then watch the Lurch's red car spin round. Can we have a look at where Fabian Sigmund went off again? That is Kyle Ridley. Oh, okay. Bit of rally in there. Can't see Fabian Sigmund's second one. Dan 80 in chat says yo. Oh, he's down the inside of Dan Downing. Oh, Dan locked up on the inside, and that is why Fabian Sigmund ended off pirouetting off the track. Australian netcode strikes again. If Joe didn't have any bad luck, he wouldn't have any luck at all, says Dan Thornton. Dan Mould in chat. So, interesting stuff from Snetterton. Let's have a look at what has happened, and Kieran Dempsey has lost the lead to Roman Perschke. He has taken it back. Roman Perschke passing Kieran Dempsey. That is not it. Where is it? Here it is. Same place, so Kieran got a bad run out of the final turn. And Roman Perschke is going to swoop around the outside of turn 1 to retake the lead. Kieran not letting it go as they head down towards turn 1. Oh, he does. He actually lifts off and slots behind. Where has Patrick gone? Said, says Dan Thornton. Good question. This isn't it. We saw this earlier. And this is him already down the order. Do you know what? Patrick's issue has not shown up, so it can't have been that bad in terms of whatever's happened. Greg Otley has passed. Eric Manetfeld has passed. Has he gone off by himself? There's Patrick. He got a slow down. There you go. That's what happened to Patrick. It is a fixed series all the time. Always a fixed series for us. Can't be messing with those setups. But there's your answer to your question, Mr. Thornton. It was... Why does it keep going to this camera of the straight? There we go. It was a slowdown for Patrick Depart, who is now down in 6th place. Martin Kier and Otley move up. Henriksen and Burns are going at it in P9 and 10. Down the main straight, Burns is going to lose a position. And Henriksen moves up into P9. Kyle Ridley still up there in P11. Lequay and Corpus 12th and 13th. As there is a ZFG car and a Goldwing car side by side into turn 1. Cool, look how tight they got there. And that was very close to a spin for Martin Wallace for sure. Down towards turn 2. Sam Van Olster's locked up and the contact has happened. Martin Wallace is going to be let through. Sam Van Olst lets him carry on. There's more contact there between Stephen Burns and the car of Henriksen, I believe. As Martin Wallace tries to find his way back through the order. Well, I said it was going to be a difficult track. Fabian Sigmund has caught up. Kevin Anfield dropped down the order as well. Is this going to be a lock-up? I saw a big squirrely moment. He's going to spin. This is what happened to Kevin Anfield then. And that is why he is down the order. The Australian driver having an issue, but Sigmund up into 20th. Won't be how he wanted his race to go. He probably will pass the Lurchus Galicia cars up the road. That's a Mundere and Cariday up ahead. Anders Kaiser in P17 is chasing down Jan Weiswanger, currently in P16 for the Meatball Motorsport machines. Henriksen has got a train behind him. This is your closest fight realistically on track. Otley's going to be coming under pressure from Patrick any day now. Getting feathering that throttle is Patrick through that long right-hander into the final turn. Stays away from the sausage curb. He's good through that final turn. Gets a decent exit. Sigmund has passed Jesus Amundere now. Next on his list 9/10 up the road is Carraday, but we're on board with Patrick Dupart on the side of his car. You can see Greg Otley just up the road. Brakes as late as he dares, gets the car turned in. And Ridley are side by side as well. Round the outside of turn 2 was that for Ridley. He's going to have the inside for turn 3. This is a risky move onto this corner as Henriksen tries to give him as much room as he can on the apex of the corner. I think he's going to carry the speed through. They're still side by side. Henriksen and Ridley down towards turn 4. Ridley's going to lose the position, I think, as Henriksen tries to move over but can't. Carl Ridley breaks as late as he dares. They're still side by side through 4. Henriksen tries to get a better exit. As they exit 4, they're going to go to the near flat out turn 5. It's going to be a big lift off here and a dab of the brakes. But can Henriksen hold it around the outside? He does. Is he going to keep it on the track? He does. He gets a bit of a squirrely moment though. And I think the move is done or not. He gets into turn 6. Carl Ridley gets the move done. And great fight from those two. Up into P7 goes Ridley. Henriksen settles for P8. With Stephen Burns behind him and Martin Wallace still there in P10. Corpus and Lequay catching him up slowly but surely. Sam Van Olst still down in 13th place. Patrick Dupart and Otley depart down the inside of 9. Got that done before the apex of 10. So that move looking fairly easy actually for Patrick. It looks like he got it done. Yeah, look, he's already side by side as they come from under the bridge. Gets the move done on the brakes. It's a scary corner, that one. 2 laps left of race 1. Martin Kier is chasing down Eric Mannenveld for P3, it seems. You can just see in the distance the rest of the cars, but your top 2, big old gap between them. You can just see them ahead in the shot. The purple flash was Kieran Dempsey. Roman Perschke a little bit further. You should see them just now entering the hairpin. Ready? Just a puff of smoke. Kaiser and Weiswanger swapping positions down the main straight. Kaiser's going to have a look around the outside of turn 1. Is he? Meatball Motorsport versus NSR Red. Northside Racing Red. Weiswanger down the inside. Switchback for Kaiser. Gets the... Oh, he bounces over the curb. Oh, I knew it was going to get tight through there. The speed through turn 1. Gets it back on the circuit. Can he get it stopped? No, he's locked up. Has Anders Kaiser on turn 2. Weiswanger takes the position back for Meatball Motorsport up into P16. Nice little fight from those two. Corpus has passed Martin Wallace though. I think he's going to try and hold the inside now of Lequay so that he doesn't lose 2 places. I think he might be. He's under pressure here, is Wallace. We're on top of Corpus. We want to be on top of Lequay, really. No, there we go. Sam Van Olst is now having a look. Wallace is offline and just shuffling down the order on top of the Goldwing Motorsport machine. Martin Wallace under pressure, entering turn 6 through 7 into turn 8. And Sam Van Olst, there it is, the famous Van Olst flash, trying to put off Martin Wallace as he goes down towards turn 9 and 10. The trickiest corners on this circuit. I don't think it works this time. You can still see the damage. Oh, that is a slow in, slide out car. Is he going to get that stopped? No. John Bailiff got connected. You can just see him in the distance there. See, I got told off for missing something at Silverstone. Didn't miss that. Let's have another look at that, shall we? What happened to Daniel Downing, who just seemed to go straight on? Got a squirrel. Oh, there it was. It was contact. That's why Bailiff was round. So he did get it stopped, did Downing. He done well to get that stopped. Didn't collect anyone else. I think he's going to wait for John as Weiswanger comes through. Looks like he's waiting for John anyway. Maybe he's continuing, who knows. But back to Martin Wallace and Sam Van Olst. This is what it looks like through the rear view mirror. Sam Van Olst gets a good exit out of turn 1. This is the final lap. It looks like he might have the inside for turn 2. He's not quite there, but he's going to stick his nose in. Martin Wallace affords him room. Nothing doing on the inside realistically, because now he's on the outside for turn 3. Martin Wallace is going to have to brake a little bit later than Van Olst. And I think he does, and he slots back into that position. Every time I see that puff of smoke, though, oh, is he going to get the run out of turn 3? I think he does. Sam Van Olst gets a beast of an exit down towards turn 4. Martin brakes later than the Goldwing car. Tries to hold it around the outside, and the battle continues, but I think Van Olst has the move done. And up the road, it's Perschke versus Dempsey. Half a second, 6/10 now. But this is the final attempt, realistically, unless something big happens in the final turn. Perschke might be under pressure here as Dempsey is closing in. 6/10 to gap now. Lecquet and Corpus swap over in 10th and 11th. Roman Perschke leading the way. He's got 4 pole positions in a row. Can he claim another win to his name? It looks like he might have done it. 8/10 is the gap now through turn 11. Turn 12 is the long right-hander called, is it the bomb hole? Oh, Coram. The bomb hole was the corner before. Yes, interesting name. Into the final turn they go. Roman Perschke coming to the final turn. If he hits that curve and messes this up, he could be under pressure. He doesn't. And there you go. Roman Perschke, number 25, is going to cross the line in P1. You should see him coming down the straight now. They're flashing their lights. Roman Perschke takes the win for race 1 with Dempsey crossing the line in P2. Eric Mannenveld for Send It or Bend It is P3. Martin Kier will be happy with that. NSR Gold takes a P4. Greg Otley P5 once again. Patrick Dupart after that slowdown comes home in P6. Carl Ridley brings it in P7 with Henriksen P8. Burns P9. And Ike Lecquet. Is it Ike Lecquet? Oh, a drag race to the line between Lecquet and Van Olst. 28 thousandths of a second. There's another drag race here. Who is that? That is Weiswanger and Kaiser. Bit more of a gap than Van Olst and Lecquet, but still close. Sigmund up into 18th in the end. Has crossed the line. Amundere, Caraday, Gibson and Anfield. Well, well, well. There you have it. Session ticks over. 5-minute break. It is. Zenith later says was getting popcorn. What did you miss? Oh my God, Perschke, you missed quite a lot. I mean, the replay's disappeared, but the start of that race 1 was chaos. So what is it going to be like now with a full reverse grid? Who was in here asking for predictions for wins? Kieran Dickinson on YouTube was asking for race 1 prediction. I said Dupart. He said Dempsey. Perschke got it in the end. We were rooting for the underdogs. Race 2 prediction is always a little bit easier because there's always someone quick who gets caught up in a crash who ends up starting near the front of the field. And those 3 drivers... Should we predict a podium? Should we predict the top 3 for the next race? I'm going to say Sigmund win. Bailiff 2nd. Downing 3rd. That's my prediction for the race 2 podium. Remember, it's a full reverse grid. As we look at the results right now. So it's Kevin Anfield and Joe Gibson will be starting on your front row. We'll go through the grid properly in a second. But your results: Perschke, Dempsey, Mannenfeld, Kier, Otley, Dupart, Ridley, Henriksen, Burns, Lecquet. Van Olst, very close. Look at the gap between them. Corpus, Wallace, Kaiser, Weiswanger, Bailiff, Downing, Sigmund. And your bottom 4, Amundere, Caraday, Gibson and Anfield. That is that. Kakula says, good job, Jack. This track doesn't have flagman. No Bernie to wave the checkered flag. He must have the day off or something. Maybe iRacing couldn't afford to pay Bernie to wave the flag round here. I've never known him to not be there though. I'm guessing he should be up there next to the Snetterton board, right? He's not there. Kakula's right on Twitch chat. Kakula, for those that don't know, our expert resident photographer. Takes some stunning pictures. I would say head to the website that you can see at the bottom there, theracingline.org, to see the Clio pictures, but the Clio pictures aren't on there. You can see all the TCR pictures and all the Jetta Cup pictures, of course. Renault Clio, we need to get in touch with Stephen King, who's been too busy working for Haas F1 team to update the website. I'll get on him, because it's not like they're scoring points every race, is it? It's not that busy over there for MoneyGram, Haas F1 team. Only joking, Stevie, if you're watching. Love you. Right. What was I going to do here in this little bit of time? I had something that I was going to read, and I have lost it. I think I was just going to read some of the previous results and stats. Let's have a look at the steward's room. Dan Downing reports himself for quali, reports himself for race 1. He killed Fabian, and he reported himself for killing John. So Dan Downing being very honest in the steward's room. Let's have a look at... I know where I can read some stats. Here you go. Let's have a look at these. I've got 1 minute to reel these off. So far, so we are on round 4. Let me get a car on the screen so you're not just listening to me. Eric Manenveld is driving around. There you go. Round 4 we are on out of 5. Races 7 and 8. We've watched race 7. 8 is coming up. So before this round, there were 6 races, and we've had 5 different winners. Roman Persky has won twice. Fabian Siegmann, Kevin Anfield, Dan Downing, and Kieran Dempsey have all won once. Podiums. We have had 11 drivers in total in those 6 races sit on the podium. Persky has been on the podium 3 times. Duncan Murray, Fabian Siegmann, Kyle Ridley, Kieran Dempsey, and Dan Downing have all been on the podium twice, with Kevin Anfield, Jesus Amundre, Greg Otley, Lucas Egelblad, and Martin Mollis all sitting on the podium once. As previously mentioned, Roman Persky has been on pole 3 times, now 4 times. So he's got pole position in every round. You get points for qualifying, 3 for pole, 2 for second, and 1 for third. And your quali standings, if there was a separate championship, Persky has 9 points, Siegmann has 3, Dempsey has 2, Ridley has 2, Dupart and Otley have 1 each. Fastest laps across the season so far, not including this round. Persky has 3, Siegmann has 2, and Stephen Burns took 1 at Silverstone National last time out. You also get a point for leading a lap in the race, but we haven't seen many lap changes or lead lap changes for this extra point. Persky has got 3 points for that. Siegmann, Anfield, Otley, Downing, Carraday and Dempsey have all got 1 point for that. In terms of total laps led, Persky has led 30 laps, Anfield and Dempsey have led 14, Otley and Downing have led 10, Carraday has led 4, and Siegmann has led 2 laps. Your highest scorer in round 1 was Siegmann with 52 points, Dempsey and Brands Hatch with 49, Persky and Silverstone with 49. Who is going to be the lead point scorer today? I do not know. Do I have time to get through the grid? I've got 30 seconds. Anfield and Gibson, front row. Carraday and Amundres, and all Lurchus Galacia, second row. Fabian Siegmann, Downing, Bailiff, Weiswanger, Kaiser, Wallace, Corpus, and Vanolst round off your top 12. Bottom half looks like this. Lequay, Burns, Henriksen, Ridley, Depart, Otley, Kier, Manenveld, Dempsey, and Roman Persky round off your field for the start of this race. Done it. 10 seconds left. Let's go. Race 2. Turn that music off. Here we go. The lights are on. 3, 4, 5 lights. 1 minute on the clock is up. So now the green lights are on and away they go. Kevin Anfield on pole position. Joe Gibson in P2. The Lurchers cars get away okay. One of them got away a little bit slowly, and it looks like they have been passed already as we see some shuffling in that front order. Into turn 1 they go. We need a good view of turn 2. Maybe the blimp cam is too far away, but we'll give it a good go. Because there's normally, or there was, chaos here before, but I think... Oh, there you go. Have that race 2. No one... How did race 1 end up in like a 50-car pile-up with a 22-car grid? And race 2... Oh, there we go. Dan Downing and... Is that John Bailiff or Carl Ridley? It's John Bailiff. Slides out wide, and that ruins that prediction, I think. Oh, there's a Meatball Motorsport car off as well. He's going to rejoin. Is that Kieran Dempsey? No, it can't be Kieran Dempsey. Kieran Dempsey's about to pass Jan Weiswanger into turn 4. It gets pretty close as they get there. The Meatball Motorsport car is very clearly indicated by the orange dot on the roof. John Bailiff, though, comes back on the track. Sam Van Olf's got a slow exit out there. Ika Lequay leads this group of people in towards turn 5. The fast left-hander of turn 5. Down towards turn 6 they go. John Bailiff breaks a little bit late, tries to have a look at the inside of Sam. Can't quite get it done, and away they continue. But it looks like your top area seems to have settled down. Fabian Sigmund not taking any risks. He knows he doesn't need to. Still side by side here, Dupart and Stephen Burns down the order. Paul Racing says, send it or bend it versus win it or bin it. Who'll win? Your thoughts? I'm sorry, don't want to hurt anyone, but it made my evening. Good luck to you all. Hello, everyone. Yay, says Paul Racing. Good to see the excitement. Thank you for joining in chat, and welcome wherever you're watching. VCO eSports, Racing Line, YouTube, and Twitch on all. That is Alerchus Galicia mowing the lawn. He is tossing the salad, as it were, right out there. Jan Weiswanger and Kier side by side through turn 11. Into Coram they go, turn 12. Everyone kicking up a bit of dust. Patrick sent it into that corner, said Andre Majorek. I missed it because I was reading chat. I do that from time to time. It's lap 2 of 7. And Roman Perschke is looking to pass here. Sam Van Olst flashing his lights. That was a Lurch's car leaning on someone on the straight. He doesn't want to do that too much. Equal and it was on Carl Ridley. Coming to blows often, the Australians and the Spaniards. Equal is still on the inside. Oh, tension's going to boil over. He doesn't. Ooh, he's going to get a switchback. Sam Van Olst is going to try and stop the switchback by having a look as well. That's the problem with a three-way fight. Equal holds on to the position. Amundre and Manenveld swap over in P17 and 18. They're still fighting side by side. Looks like Manenveld's going to go around the outside of 3. And Perschke is going to try and follow him through. Sigmund is still not in the lead yet. He's been picking them off one by one. It's Kevin Anfield to go. The Australian leads once again. I think Patrick was worried about his overtaking earlier this season, says Dan Thornton. Kyle Ridley does pass Equal in towards turn 6, I think that was. No, they're in towards turn 6 now. Oh, Lequay breaks late. Tries to defend from Sam Van Olst. Sam Van Olst gets in position. John Bailiff is now going to come through as well. This is what happens when you go offline. Oh, leans on him. Does John there. In towards turn 8 they go. And I think Lequay might get the better run out of that corner. And there you go. Sigmund has also already passed him down the back straight in towards 9 and 10. And you've got to say it's probably the Husingveld man's position now, as there goes Equal off the road. Spins round. Whose nose did he come across then to cause that? Was it John Bailiffs who was there? I told you they were leaning on each other. I think John Bailiff survives. How did that happen when they were so far apart? It's going to be Ika coming across, surely, at this point. Here it is. Here it is. Yeah. He'll watch that back and have a little bit of a blushing face, I'm sure. John lucky, I think, there to survive as well. That was silly. Anyway. Oh, he didn't survive. John Bailiff is in the pits. That'll be a meatball. Fabian Sigmund, though, leads the way. 2.7 seconds from Joe Gibson, who's in P2 for ORD. We've seen him hold on to it before. Anders Kaiser in P3. Daniel Downing's in P4. My podium prediction is out the window because John Bailiff has the commentator's curse, as it were, and is now down in 22nd, and he looks like he's out of this race. Kevin Anfield also way down the order. Ooh, he is off. He's done it again through 9 and 10, I guess. Yeah, there he goes. Can't get it stopped once it's on the grass. That'll be a picture. Kakula will take a picture of that for sure. Loves a picture of someone on the grass or in the wall. As Martin Kier is looking to pass Amundere, Dupart and Wallace. Oh, Dupart sends it down turn 9 once again. Throws it into turn 10. Another brilliant overtake for the ORD driver. Number 23 is up into P8. Next on his list is Sam Van Olst, who is fighting Kyle Ridley. He is right behind Kyle Ridley. In towards the long right-hander they go. Opens up that inside, does Kyle then, but risky corner to try and pass on. You want to set... Turns in early, does Van Olst there, but didn't hit the curb. Caraday is just up the road from these two. Patrick up into P9 now. P8. P8, Andre. P8. Lap 4 of 7. Past the halfway point. Four seconds the gap now between Sigmund and Gibson, but Gibson is looking strong for a podium here because Kaiser's 1.6 seconds back. As long as he doesn't make a mistake, just like Dan Downing did just then, because Caraday is now going to be right on him, I think. I think Caraday might have followed him actually, but this is Kyle Ridley. In towards turn 3. Patrick is not far behind. If we look behind this, I don't want to go off board just yet because he might have a look down the inside. Will Kyle. Ooh, nearly hit him. And then behind is Sam Van Olst, Patrick Dupart, and that is a ZFG. That's Martin Wallace and Stephen Burns. So there's a big old train behind, as I see Greg Otley, I think, is side by side with Roman Perschke. Perschke drops behind. He's up into P14, so he's got some points, has Perschke. Sigmund, though, leading the way. Perschke looking to pass Greg Otley. Is he going to go around the outside of turn 6? Oh, Greg breaks later than Henriksen into towards turn 6. Can't quite get it stopped. Perschke is going to have a look down the inside of 8. Ooh! That was opportunistic, not optimistic. Opportunistic, but he has had to back out of it. I don't think he's got the run. Is he going to have a look in towards turn 9? The best view of this will be on top of Eric Mannenveld's car. Can Perschke send it down the inside of Greg? I think he's too far back. Greg's going to try and get it stopped. Misses that first apex. Can he? Oh, there he goes. He loses the rear end. Perschke's going to get the better run, and they're both going to come through. Greg Otley carried too much speed into 9 and 10. I said it was a dangerous corner, and that proves why. It goes down to P15. Perschke up another position into 13th place. Depart still behind Sam Van Olst and Caraday. Ridley has passed Caraday. Kaiser has just passed Gibson. Gibson's off the road. He is coming back on, and he's going to lose out on that podium because Ridley is going to have the run. And look at Dupart, though. He's going to have the run on Sam Van Olst, so it's going to be mixed fortunes for ORD as Joe Gibson is lost out on his podium chances. He's down into P5. Caraday's going to go down the inside of turn 1. Sam Van Olst goes down the inside. Dupart swoops around the outside. Is he going to get them all? He's going round. He's on the outside of Caraday. Patrick Dupart is about to move up. He's on the grass. Can he get it stopped for turn 2? Patrick, number 23, the Polish driver, and Caraday side by side in towards turn 2. Caraday gets it stopped. He's going to run out wide and defend. Patrick Dupart gives him a bit of a nudge, and he's in P6. Is Patrick. Caraday holds on to P5. Kyle Ridley clear in P4 to chase down Dan Downing for the last 2 laps and maybe claim a podium. Dempsey has just passed Gibson around the outside of 3. Gibson trying to hold on to that top 10. I think he's still losing places, as now Stephen Burns is going to have a look up the inside of 4, but Dupart is going down the inside of Caraday. He's sending it down the inside of turn 4. Is he on for a podium here? Oh, the podium's going to be out of reach surely, but he is flying, the Polish driver, and now he's got Kyle Ridley 1.3 seconds up the road, and he's got 2 laps to try and close it in. Sam Van Olst, I think, has just had a look at passing Caraday. He does. He goes down the inside. Wallace is passing Caraday down the inside as well. Turn 8. Caraday's going to hold it around the outside. The Lurchis Galicia car has been in many fights today. He's probably enjoying this. I don't think he enjoys losing positions, but he's probably enjoying the fights. And everyone is shuffling their way through. Martin Wallace is getting a push from Kieran Dempsey there to try and go around the outside of Caraday in towards turn 9. Can he get it stopped? Wallace on the brakes in towards turn 10. Carried too much speed in again. Has to stop almost to get it on the track. Caraday, though, down the inside of the bomb hole. Oh, don't come across, and now he's going to have to defend the inside. Are they going to go side by side through turn 12? Caraday has the inside line. Through Coram they go. Wallace and Caraday still, and Wallace is going to have the inside for the final turn. I didn't think I'd see this move today, and he gets it done. Martin Wallace down the inside of the final turn. And now watch Kieran Dempsey, who's going to have a run because Caraday was compromised. But Wallace, I think, is going to come out in P7 on this. Kieran Dempsey's going to have to push him again. Caraday offline towards turn 1. Has to be careful not to lose out to Burns, Henriksen, Perschke, and Gibson all behind him. Wallace doesn't know where to defend. Caraday just turns into Dempsey, and they're off. Dempsey and Caraday off the circuit. Dempsey's in the wall. That's P2 in the championship. In the wall and potentially out. They were doing so well. Caraday's going to continue. Oh, that is a shame. That fight was going so well. It's going to be on Caraday, I think. He just turns in. Look at Dempsey. He has a quick look at Wallace. And Caraday is behind at this point. Yeah, look, just absolutely turns into the corner as if a car wasn't there. Braking late or not, the angle of that car. I don't know, maybe we'll look at it obviously during the stewards properly, but on that first watch through, definitely looked like Caraday turning in. But at a better angle, it might show Dempsey brake late and missed the corner. Who knows? Kaiser is going to be under pressure here. And as Kaiser for Northside Racing Red, he's been in P2 for a while. 9 seconds back from Siegmund, and Dan Downing is now ready to try and take that P2 from him. This is what it looks like on board Dan Downing's machine. Slow in, slide out machine. Austin Farr Racing says it's over on YouTube. No one says the second B in bomb. Zenitha later. I've never said bomb so much on stream, to be honest. Austin Farr Racing will be chuckling to himself as he loves that word. But yes, the bomb hole. Kaiser's going to be under pressure here. Looking around the outside is Dan Downing. Give the driver of the day link, says Andre Mayerek. Good shout. Let's do that. There is your link. There is your little logo. Enjoy. All 4 chats have that across VCO Esports and the Racing Line, YouTube and Twitch. Click that link, vote for your driver of the day. I know who would get my vote, but this fight is not over yet. We're on lap 7. This is your final lap. Fabian Siegmund is in complete control of this race. Persky is fighting Wallace here to try and get P7. Wallace is defending as best as he can, but Daniel Downing is looking at P2 right there in front of him, and he wants it. He can sniff it. He can smell it for slow in, slide out. It's another podium for the driver that missed the first round. And let's face it, with the form that he's had at times, he would be higher in the championship if he was here for that. But you can't help it. People are busy. Seen Stephen King in chat. Everyone needs to message Stephen King about the website so you can see these Clio pictures. Is Dan Downing going to have a look at turn 9 and 10? It doesn't look like he is. And is Patrick Dupart going to have a look at Carl Ridley into 9 and 10? He closed him in. It's lap 7 of 7. Have the other two gone off? Because Ridley has just jumped up into P3. I think they have. Ridley's now on the podium. Downing's disappeared. Who was Downing racing? Has Downing gone off by himself? Watch Patrick here. What can he do? Oh, I thought he was going to send it into that final turn, but he's kept it clean. He's got a bit of a run here. He's going to have to pick a side. Which side is Carl going to pick? That's the question. It's a long run to the line. I think he's just going to slot in behind. There we go. What a race. But Fabian Siegmund, where is he? There's your winner. Didn't get to see him cross the line. I've just broken trend of all motorsport broadcasters, which is to show the winner crossing the line, even if there's fights going on. Fabian Siegmund, the German driver for Team Husingfeld, then takes your race 2 win. Got that prediction right. Anders Kaiser for Northside Racing Red did not call him being P2, but there he is, the number 98 driver. Well done to that man. Carl Ridley as well might be happy with that. Up 13 positions to finish in P3. And Patrick Dupart matching that to finish P4. So those two starting next to each other on the grid. P3 and 4. What a charge. Sam Van Olst, P5 for the Goldwing Motorsport driver. We need to find... What happened to Dan Downing there? He's just locked up again. Loves that corner. So into turn 9. Locks up. Whee! Sam Van Olst will be chuckling to himself through the bomb hole. He passes Dan Downing for a top 5. Joe Gibson down 12 places to 14th. Was there any other issues for Joe? Locks up. Oh, it's frustrating. This car is frustrating. Those lockups, once they happen. And then watch this. He just gets absolutely swamped by everyone who had a good run out of that final turn. Caraday inside for Nost to part. Swoops around the outside. Now he's offline for turn 2. He's got a car on his inside. That's Wallace, I think. Burns locks up. Dempsey gets a switch back. Passes Burns. That was very nice. Come on, guys. Get your bomb hole puns in. Just going to elaborate. I'm saying bomb. PG-13. Love this camera view. Anyway, I think most of the drivers have called it a day. They're in the pits. That means it's interview time. Who shall we speak to today? Let's have a quick look at our results, and I'll have a look at the driver of the day results as well. Fabian Siegman then, your winner, 9.8 seconds up the road in the end. Husink Veld winning both races today. Anders Kaiser does bring it home in P2. Carl Ridley gets that podium. 1/10 ahead of Patrick Dupart, who pushed him across the line. Sam Van Olst P5 with Dan Downing in P6, even after going off at the end. Roman Persky was up 15 places. He was your biggest mover in the field. Started last, up into P7. Martin Wallace P8. Henriksen P9. Eric Manetveld and Stephen Burns for Send It or Bend It, both crossing the line in P10 and 11. Greg Otley, Martin Kier, Joe Gibson, Kevin Anfield and Jan Weisfanger, your final point scorer of race 2. Points only go down to 16th in the reverse grid race. Caraday and Corpus just missing out. Dempsey was out in the end after that contact. Amundere, Lequay and Bailiff also out of that race. And that is your feature race results. Let's have a look at the driver of the day stats. So results. Oh, you know what? You know what? People aren't doing it enough. I got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 drivers have been voted for. 3 of them at 12.5%. One of them at 25%. One of them at 37. Oh, that's another new driver coming in. That makes no difference. Oh, another new driver coming in. Another new vote. I don't know. Every time I do this, I feel like people are just voting for themselves. They never go for the obvious. I don't know how Sam Van Olst gets votes. Only joking. Anyway, it looks like we've got a war between the two fan clubs at the start of this stream. So I'm going to let that continue on whilst I interview some people, because the Dupart and Persky fan club are going at it with votes. So I'll let people join in on that. Who shall we speak to first? Let's bring in Win It or Bin It driver Kyle Ridley, who should be happy. Let's find out how he's feeling. Let me click on his car so we know what he looks like. Kyle, how are you feeling?
Pretty happy with today.
How's the circuit? Tell us about Snetterton 300.
Interesting one. I've only ever driven here on project cars, and obviously that's not much of a serious game, nor did I have a steering wheel back then. But it was a tough track to learn, and it took a long time to get my head around it. It took me running with a few cars in practice and the race to understand some of the lines, get my head around it, and I think I did pretty well. I didn't quite get into the 206s, but didn't need to.
Didn't need to. No, you got up into P3 in the end there. Was there a smile on your face when you saw down and off the circuit?
I mean, I liked Dan. I was willing him on to get that P2, and when I saw that, I was like, oh no, the wrong car, but also, yeah, cheeky smile as well.
Yeah. And what about the pressure from the lightning pole behind? Patrick Dupart, who also gained 13 positions in that race, was making moves, and he caught you up fairly quickly. Did you feel that pressure, or you knew you could hold on?
I certainly felt the pressure. I just knew I needed to keep on the apexes, park it if I needed to, and I can keep him behind. I'm lucky it was only 2 laps I had to do that.
Mixed fortunes for the Win It or Bin It team in that one. John Bailiff out fairly early on, I think, with that meatball. I'm guessing it was a meatball because he was in the pits. What can you do in the final round? We've got Donington next. It's a fast, flowy circuit. I've got a feeling the rear end is going to be a little bit slidey. Can Win It or Bin It hold on to P2?
I hope so. I'm not too sure what happened to John. I know he left early, which is unfortunate, but he'll bounce back. He's a good driver. I need to put some work in and perform just as well at Donington as well as anywhere else.
Of course. Well, thank you for joining me up here. As usual, before I let you go, is there anyone that you want to say hello or thank you to?
I just want to thank all the Win It or Bin It boys, Send It or Bend It, and my mum.
Of course. See you later, Carl. Thank you.
Thank you. Bye.
Kyle Ridley, your P3 in race 2. Have the votes settled down? I think they have. And it's like the F1 game all over again. The person who did the most overtakes automatically gets driver of the day. It is Roman Perschke taking the driver of the day award. Up 15 positions from last into P7. So it does look like the Perschke fan club is greater than symbol here. The Patrick Dupart fan club, but you've got to give it to Patrick. Can't take anything away from him. He finished higher for one, and he was making some moves. We didn't really get to see Roman's moves though, in fairness, but Patrick was lightning fast today. Got time for 2 more. We've only spoken to Kyle. Who else can we have a chat with? It's always a risk bringing Sam Van Alsten. You never know what he's going to say. Can't see any of the Danes. And you got Donny Henriksen in there. Anders Kaiser not, though. Perschke is in there. Let's bring him in. I haven't spoken to Fabian, but we got Roman Perschke in it. Here he is, your championship leader. I assume still from today because it was a win and a P7, up 15 places and driver of the day. Roman, how are you feeling?
Great. Always great fun driving this car around. Track was quite challenging, as you might have seen in race 1. It was so easy to just miss the braking point and then you just go into nowhere land. Yeah, but race 2 was tough, but good fun. Everyone. Good racing. It's
definitely an interesting circuit and threw up, well, I don't want to say surprises because we all knew it was going to be an interesting one from the practices. But yeah, it looked like there was some good racing on stream. There was a few side-by-sides throughout the field. But tell us from the legendary Team Husingveld's point of view, because it looks like the team's championship might be sewn up today. I don't know mathematically, but realistically, it looks difficult for anyone to catch. In fact, even the drivers might... Well, actually, no, because Fabian done well as well, so maybe the drivers isn't over. But Kieran Dempsey definitely had a bit of a mare in that race too, so he was your closest challenger before that. I've had someone in chat to ask you how you found the bomb hole today.
I mean... Not sure what to say.
Yeah.
It was nearly flat out.
It's just a nearly flat out corner. Stop it, chat. You're being filthy. Yeah, no, we don't see this circuit that often. And just whilst I remember, because I just saw the tweet again, Congratulations for Team Husingveld's 24. I don't think you were driving though, Roman. You didn't drive in the Nords 24 this weekend?
Somehow I never managed. I just couldn't prepare properly, and we had Fabian and Stefan and Marcel on the car, and it was third time in a row. Really happy about it. Yeah,
it's those
incredible.
pedals, right? It's all the pedals. I need to start. I'm gonna email Husingveld. I need to get more commission from them than GT Amiga. There's a 5% discount code, guys. TRL, I promise. Not for Husingveld, for GT Amiga. Right. Anyway, Roman, congratulations. It was a great result. Is there anyone before I let you go that you want to say hello or thank you to?
I mean, again, any guy from the team watching. Then, as we learned last time, my wife. And this time I found out who was the special voter last time. So cheers also go out to Philip and Bobby.
Oh, there you go. I hope they hear your shout out if they're watching. And it's always great to speak to you. I'll see you next week at Donington for the final round.
Yeah, see you next week. Bye-bye.
There he goes, your championship leader. Tempted to bring Bailiff in, but we know he's not going to be happy and be sulky. But we haven't really had a sulky interview before, I don't think, from anyone. Try and avoid them. Nah, let's bring in Patrick. We haven't spoken to Patrick in ages. Patrick Dupart, Team ORD. I say I haven't spoken to Patrick in ages. Have we ever spoken to you up here?
Oh yeah, on Jetta Cup on Laguna Seca.
Oh, he does remember. He remembers. Patrick, this track and you have something going on. I'm not sure what it is, but you were rapid in practice on Sunday. You were rapid in practice today. You were rapid in qualifying. And, I mean, that race too definitely showed it as well. Up 13 positions to get to P4 and some great moves. So you must have enjoyed that, no?
Of course.
man of many words. Come on, favorite overtake. Favorite overtake. Give us some more.
I don't even remember.
You don't remember? It's just all a blur.
Martin, I don't know. There was a lot of them.
From the angle that we saw it, the move on. It was when just after Joe had gone off the circuit down the main straight and he went around the outside of turn 1. That was pretty good to watch on stream. I'm sure you'll be seeing that back. But the Dupart fan club was out in force in chat. Nearly driver of the day, but still a great result for you. Plenty of points for the team. Maybe even a position or two in the team standing. Sorry. Dan says that's the most I've heard Patrick talk in 18 months, including when we're racing together. Andre says I liked the one where Patrick sent it on 2 cars at once. That's the one at turn 1. Patrick, is there anyone? Actually, no. Donington, next round, final. How are you feeling about that one?
Well, that was tricky back in the Jetta Cup, so I don't know.
We'll see.
We'll see. But I'm definitely better now, so.
Yeah,
That'll be good, I think.
Genuinely impressive stuff around Snetterton, because it was a tough track for people to pick up, and you just stuck to it. Is there anyone that you want to say hello or thank you to before I let you go?
Yeah, obviously to Team ORD boys for cheering. That always gives that extra motivation to get a good result for them, and yeah. Also to the TRL community and all the drivers, and to you, Jack.
Thank you very much, Patrick. Very nice to hear your voice again, and I'll see you next week for Donington.
Thank you.
There goes Patrick Dupart. Humble, quiet, man of many words. Need to change his flag to the Finnish flag, I think. I don't know, Donny, I don't know what that is that's just shown up on my chat. I've never seen that before. 20 DKK. What does that mean? It says hype. You're going to have to explain. It looks weird because it's bright blue compared to all the other messages. Does that mean it's like super chat or something? Dan Thornton says, Depart. Oh, 10 dirham donation. No way. 10 dirhams. Does it all convert? I don't know how money works in YouTube land. Danish kroner. Oh. Is that what that's called? Is that what the money is? I have never known that. Get that on a pub quiz because I will now know the answer. Anyway. Final round next week. It is time. It is Donington Park. Donny at Donington. Thank you very much, Donny. Thank you very much, everybody else who's been watching. VCO Esports for being here. TRL Racing Lines, YouTube and Twitch channel viewers. Means a lot. One more round to go, the Clio Cup, and then I think there's going to be a bit of a summer break for leagues for the channel. Obviously, videos will continue to be uploaded, but leagues will take a break, and then maybe I can't announce official dates yet because it's so far in advance. But there was normally a league being run in the winter time. Around when do we normally do it, guys? I want to say October was when we started it last time. September, October. It's around that time. It's during the winter phase of the year, and we all know what it is. It's potentially Jetta Cup Season 4. Be there or be square, just like the Jetta. Anyway, good to see you all. Thank you very much. If I don't see you on track this week, I'll see you next week for the next video here on the Racing Line. Peace.